welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Marathon. We are doing a mod list called SkyGround Chronicles today. It is book 3, as you can see on the screen, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over some information about it before we get started. So we're looking at version 3.2.3 that we're reviewing today. This was released just 2 days ago on April 7th, 2026. We're looking at 2,559 mods that I located on the MO2. You're going to need the full anniversary upgrade edition of Skyrim to be able to play this mod list. There's a lot of modularity in the MO2 that I came across, so we'll go over that. So for E and B options, you have a lot of options here. First of all, community shaders is not one of them, but you have Cabbage E and B. You got 4 preset options you can choose from. The game by default uses Ivy Edition, which is, I believe, a custom tuned edition that the mod list author Ivy went ahead and made for this game. You have Amon, you have Dawnfire plus a performance version of Dawnfire. You have E&B for the Elders, and you have Rudy. We have Lux Lighting doing the lighting for the game, and for weathers we got Nat3 Happier Nat3 Weathers. We have J Serpa's Vanilla Quest expansions. We also have Requiem in this list as a part of the backbone of it. UI options, we got Veldun, which is the new one that Nidhogg released recently. Oathbane, Northern UI, Untarnished UI, and Nordic UI. So technically, I mean, my score on the UI will basically just be for the default option that's chosen. But you can choose any of these that you like. These were all made by different authors. So Veldun, Oathbane, Northern UI are all the same author, and then two Untarnished UI, Nordic UI, I believe, are 2 different ones. Interesting enough, we're going to see today quick loot is enabled by default on this list. We're going to keep that enabled to see how it ships and see how stable it is. I do see there's an option in the MO2 for buggy disabled mods that you would have to enable at your own discretion. STB widgets is one of them. Compass navigation overhaul is one of them as well, and local map upgrade. So I believe possibly quick loot could be functioning well, considering STB widgets compass navigation overhaul is disabled. The reason why I say that is someone mentioned to me once that STB widget, someone on the channel mentioned to me that the Lore Rim Discord had narrowed down that the STB widgets was causing an issue with quick loot. So that's interesting. So with that disabled, we'll see if quick loot doesn't have an issue. Also for compass, it was compass navigation overhaul that I believe all these mod lists had that the compass went missing on. So that's disabled as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how this all plays together. For your controller players, controller support is offered on here. They're disabled by default, so you're going to have to go into the MO2 and set that up for yourself. It's real easy, just checking the checkboxes. You got Rumble mod, you got auto input switch, and you got Stances NG controller and a full controller layout mod that you can all enable. So 4 of them total. First person animations, this is what I narrowed down. Again, this mod list is going to be running off Stances NG, so there's going to be different stances you can choose from, whether first person or third person, I imagine. But there's going to be some Sigma first person animations in this list. There's also a comprehensive first-person animation overhaul that's also on this list. So I believe that's going to come into play here for stances. We also have jellyfish animations doing the torches, the crossbow, the ultimate potions where you drink the potion really quickly. We got Vanergans, and I believe it's conditional armor. CATA is running the armor animation. So basically that's just your character moves differently depending on if you're wearing light armor or heavy armor, and third person. We're using BFCO on this list for third person combat instead of MCO. We have alternate death system that I've located on MO2, Stages of Suffering. I believe Apostasy uses that as well. So I believe when you die you go into some type of ethereal mode. So we're going to see how that works as well. For horses, you know, it's become a baseline recently, and it rightfully so, but horsepower is running the horse animations, which is great. Now for system specs, we're looking at a minimum spec listed as 5600X for the CPU or equivalent, 16 gigabytes of RAM, RTX 3060 Ti, and that's most likely going to be the desktop version of it, not the laptop version of it, and that's running at 1080p. Now, recommended specs, they only put for 2K, not for 4K, and that's going to be 7800X CPU or equivalent, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a 4070 or equivalent. And that's for 2K. Now we're running a 9070 XT AMD GPU on this list, which slightly is more powerful than a 4070, I would say. And we are running it at 4K as usual. So we're going to gauge performance with all these under consideration. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Keep in mind, I haven't opened up this game yet like I usually do to make sure it's running correctly. So I'm going to have to set up a little bit of some hotkeys in the beginning of the video. But I'll try to make that quick. Okay, so character creator. Right off the bat here, it looks like they're using Oathvein for the character creator, and that it might be because this thing called DIP, I think it's a dynamic interface patch, something like that. Basically, you got to do it if you're downloading these UIs off of Nexus. You're gonna have to do these patches for each UI that you choose. In order for the character creation screen to use that type of UI. So I believe he just kind of left it at Oathvein, or she, because I believe it's Ivy is the mod list author. She left it as a default for the character creator. But I am pretty confident we're going to see Veldun UI, because that's what was selected by default on this list. So we're going to see Veldun UI when we go into it. Now, if you download this list yourself, and you want to change the character creation to Veldun UI, I believe you can download that on Nexus, and then just follow the instructions on how to do that, and you can change this character creation screen into Veldun UI style. But hot swapping it like that is not as easy as it seems. So you have to choose a default. Looks like they chose default as Oathvein. Enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and create a character though. As usual, I try to create some sort of spell sort. These Bretons, man, every time, man. I don't know who at Bethesda thought this was like the great first preset you should see of a Breton. It's ridiculous, quite honestly. Probably gonna go with an Altmer today. Let's see if they have any presets. So let's go male, Altmer. Okay, so it looks like they have a few. Let's take a look and see how they look. Okay. It's always nice to see they preloaded some presets in there. Not always, you know, my best choices, but at least there's something to look at. Maybe you can build off of one of them if they look decent, you know? Sorry, I think I went to a different race there. Altmer. This guy's got a little bit of an overbite going on there. I didn't know you could make that happen in this game. Let's see. Yeah, not the most handsome looking Altmers. I'll say that. Alright. Well, you know, for the sake of the fact that they have it here, let's choose one and try to build off of it. So what are we going to choose one? Which one are we going to choose here? Okay. We'll try to work with this guy here. Okay, so skin tone, Altmers usually have a fair complexion, so maybe we'll go a little fair. Yeah. Weight, because he's going to be swinging a sword and stuff. We'll beef him up a little bit. Keep him young. We'll get rid of that scar. I like that little scar there on the eye. That looks better. Hair options. We definitely don't want to go with that one. Okay. Getting better. Let's take a look at the hair color real quick and change that up. Not custom. Okay, we'll go with like a kind of a gray hair. Yeah, some unique hair options I don't see often. So I mean, some of these I see often, but I came across a few on that quick slide over that I didn't see too often before. I believe I used this one on one of our videos before. Okay, let's go with this one. Eye shape. This guy's ears are a little bit they're flapping out a little bit more than I usually see. Eye color. Let's see what we have for eye colors. Okay, we got some Witcher. If you want to do some Witcher role playing there, you do some Witcher eyes. Okay, let's go with that. That looks kind of interesting. And then let's see, zoomed out here. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on then. These parts usually take a while. I'm already 11 minutes into the video. Let's give him a quick elven name. Whoa, I'm drawing a blank here. We'll do Faendal. Isn't that the guy from Riverwood? He's gonna be another Faendal as well. Okay, so interesting here. So first, you should know also that this game, in the MO2, there's an Ultra mode, and then there's a either I forgot the name of that one, but there's a lesser mode than Ultra, either Performance or Basic, something of that sort. So if you have a lower powered system or you're playing at a low, basically if you feel like this list is a little too challenging, I would select that before you start your game, because I don't know if it's save friendly bouncing between the two presets. So definitely worth going to the MO2 from all that stuff I mentioned in the beginning, and taking a look at it before you start your game. Alright, so choose your experience. Welcome to SkyGround Chronicles. The province of Skyrim can be harsh for the unprepared. We got Trial of the North and Intended Way offers a true unforgiving experience of Skyrim's war-torn lands. Or Path of the Wanderers, where dangers still loom, but you'll learn the world's ways at your own pace. You can adjust these preferences anytime under game settings in MCM. So that's nice, you can adjust it. The Intended Way is Trial of the North. So I suppose we should go with that. So let's go with that. Okay, I believe this is Biggie traits. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Again, I'm not a professional. I'll just play a lot of Skyrim. So you gotta forgive me if I make a little mistakes here. I do encourage you guys watching the video who know things or can see that I've stated something incorrectly, to go ahead and write something in the comments section, so viewers can look at accurate information there as well. Nobody's perfect. Okay, Sign of the Warrior. Okay, let's just go with that. This right here reminds me of my Dunmer Assassin in one of the series I have on the channel. Okay, I like using flame. I like using flame in our playthroughs. So let's go with Pyromancer. Hopefully this list has flame. I don't really like it when flame's taken out of the list, because flame and all those channeling type magic spells are the most enjoyable for me. So let's go with Pyromancer, and I like channeling electric too. The question is, if you choose both, then do you have a 25% increase to both? And then you have a frost spell version. Perfect. So all of those channeling spells I like. I really like those. Let's go with each 10th of a magicka spent increases damage. Affects fire, frost, shock, cloaks, and runes with diminishing returns past 30% for a total of 40%. However, magicka regenerates half as fast during battle. It sounds interesting. It sounds like we're gonna have a hell of a strong flame spell with a little bit of a caveat there, but let's try that. Okay. Alright, your memory's a little foggy. What gear did you have again? You're given 45 tokens by an entity to spend them on a group. This is interesting. I've never seen this before in any of the lists that we've done. So let's choose some starting gear. Okay. I love it when these lists kind of step outside the box there. I can already see too that the starting room looks a little different as well. The furniture in there. I still think my favorite starting room though was what was that list? Nordic Souls, where you're in that Alien ruin. I really like the vibe in that starting room. So I can already tell that healing is going to be a little rough in this list. It's a Requiem list. I don't know if that, nor if Lorim's issues with that I had with not being able to heal quickly enough was a Requiem thing, but I remember having stuff like this where herbal medicine, there's like things that are not quite a healing potion, but kind of like a healing potion. A crust that enhances natural regeneration. Stress suppresses its effects. So often applied before sleep. It contains enough amount for nearby companions, but dries quickly out. Like that's interesting. Like that's a very unique application there. Now I know a heavy armor weighs us down quite a bit in Requiem lists. At least Lorim it did. So maybe we should go with like a medium armor. So let's start with a... What do you have for medium armors here? Wow, quite a bit. You can even spend it on top of these. You can spend it on spells. Okay. Something to consider. And then there's a starter kit for warrior one-handed. That's interesting. Starter kit for collectors. Starter kit for mages. Okay. We'll do Spell Tomb for sure. Does it say how many points I have left? So that was 10 tokens. So I have 35 left? Is that right? Okay. Let's see. A little bit of the font running into each other here, but I mean, when you're making a list that's compatible with a bunch of different UIs, that's kind of bound to happen there. Or maybe that's something that can be fixed easily. Okay, let's go at leather. Let's go with a Is that the only one-handed sword? Let's see. You know, you got steel stuff down here. It's probably more costly. Let's go with a steel katana. And maybe something dramatically different. Let's go with a steel warhammer. And then we only have 2 tokens left. I don't know what else you can buy at 2 tokens. I think... Oh, maybe some potions here. Okay. Good to go. And then it looks like my only option here on the screen is the E button. Says create. So let's... Okay, no. Never mind. I don't know what that's about. It just looks like I got that item there. Okay, tab for exit now. Okay. Alright, and are you sure? Okay, so it gives you one last chance to choose differently. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, we are happy to have you here. The world of SkyGround is harsh, and the road ahead will not always be easy. But do not give up. Stay strong. Keep going and enjoy the journey. Okay, welcome. That's a very nice welcome message. All right, so you got a little notification there for hotkeys. I love it when these lists have hotkey reminder in it. So F11. Unfortunately, my keyboard requires me to press an FN button before I press F11, so I don't really like having my hotkeys on the F buttons. So what I'm gonna probably do is move this down as one of the things I do here. So favorites menu as well. So there's Wheeler, it looks like, which is on G, and the favorites menu on Q. I like usually swapping those two around. So I'll change that up, and I'll probably put something for photo mode, assuming there's photo mode in here. Okay, so I usually like setting my hotkey reminder to right control and helmet toggle. What's it at right now? Helmet toggle's at Y. Okay, I personally like it at Y, so that's good. I can also the UI, I can tell already it's Veldun UI. So even though Oathbane was in the character creation screen like I anticipated, it's Veldun now for the rest of the UI. And Oathbane does not pop up anywhere else except for character creator. So if you can live with that, then you don't need to take any more action than that. Photo mode, I like to change that to that and take a photo to spacebar. Well, also I like to make it so I don't navigate with the mouse. Okay, so quick loot's in here, Requiem in here, Sanguine Symphony for the blood. We got Sky Parkour, which is cool. Smooth cam. What kind of smooth cam settings do we have here? Okay, so they have the newest smooth cam that you can download right now on Nexus. So you have a lot more presets. You have double the amount of presets, I believe. So you can put 6 more of the ones you like in here. We will try to stick with the default one that this list comes with for now. With the only caveat of me changing the shoulder swap button to something I'm used to. Okay, swiftly order squad, which is great. I like that for having your followers kind of come to you on the fly. Static skill leveling rewritten again. So this is rewritten spelled wrong, but this is for when you level up. You basically allocate your skills to wherever you want, essentially, instead of having it level up with something that you're using and then it levels up, like swinging a sword levels up your one-handed weapon skill. No, that's not the way it works in this. Stress and fear. We have violence if you want to control your execution animations when it triggers. We got knockback here, old body, and horse whistle key. Okay, so that's good for that. Yep, and now that works here. So let me just put here. Oh, you know what? if you're doing this and you find out that you cannot change what it says on the key, you have to uncheck this here. Okay, so like for example, hotkey reminders. Now you can put it there, and now you can take that off there. And now I'm gonna set this to Wheeler, because I like that being for Wheeler. And then we are gonna change this to favorites. It just feels better when you press it that way, in my opinion. And then Wheeler, we gotta figure out how to open Wheeler. Let's see. So Wheeler is, or I should say D menu. Where's the button for D menu? STB widgets. Okay, so again, STB widgets is not on here, so that's just probably if you do enable it, that's gonna be what's assigned to. Swift key menu, interesting. H is swift key menu. Stances is C. That's good to know. And it looks like there's hotkeys for potions. So like V, B, and N is for the health. Now that sounds kind of cool, actually. That sounds convenient. You got lanterns here. Toggle L for lantern. I don't see a button for D menu. So let me see if I can press anything that'll bring it up. You know what? We're just gonna have to learn to live with it the way it is, because I don't want to mess around and disable something by pressing all these different hotkeys. So we'll put this back at Wheeler, and then favorites. And I'll just have to get used to it for this run. Okay, so there's a cat here instead of that dragon statue. There's a bed here. There's a book of origins. Interesting. So you can choose your story, your origin story, I guess. That's kind of cool, huh? I think I saw this for the first time in Bottle Rim recently. Okay, we'll just pick this one here. It kind of fits with being an Altmer. Okay, and it just kind of gives you your first quest here. Visit the Shrine of Azura. Okay, alternate perspective. I believe it's just kind of telling you how to start the main quest. And then also, looks like we can disable that there, and then survival mode is on. I mean, that's part of the default experience, right? We'll see if it starts to hinder our amount of time that we have by like making us super slow, then we'll probably have to toggle that off just so we can do this video in a timely manner. But I'm going to try and stay as true as possible to the way this list is intended to be played, so you guys kind of have a raw experience here. Okay.
Speak.
Okay, he has the same... The cat has the same voice as the dragon, so it's simply just swapping the dragon out for the cat, but everything else is the same. We are gonna start... What are we gonna do this time? Perhaps we'll do Left 4 Dead. That's kind of fun. And then we'll do Left 4 Dead in the Reach this time. All right, let's go. That's a 29-minute starting. I'm sorry about that, guys, but we do have a lot to cover in the beginning before we just start running around aimlessly. Or not aimlessly, but just running around. And so, hopefully that was informative more than tedious for you to watch. Okay, interesting. Game paused. So I've never seen that before as well. So it looks like that just kind of starts you off that way. And then now it doesn't seem to pull it up in any other way. So I guess just when you start out. So my first thought here is the graphics look amazing. I mean, for example, and it's at 42 FPS. So I usually do the Q&A with the modless authors, and in there they address how they really well, let me see if I can say this here. Oh yeah, so SkyGround. So I asked them, why should someone choose your list over other large Skyrim overhauls? And again, the Q&A is going to be in the description section of the video. And SkyGround, they said, Ivy said, SkyGround is exceptionally well optimized for the level of visual fidelity and graphics that it provides. To put it simply, I truly care about optimization. Okay, so the rest of it, there is some more there, but you guys will just read it in the description. But for the most part, let's see. It looks great. We got 42 FPS. Let's see if it runs similar to something of similar graphical fidelity, or what. We'll see. So, alright, so our guy's here. Okay, his character model doesn't look half bad. Okay, I gotta get some stuff on me though. Luckily, it looks like they don't have Skyrim Souls or Souls menu in here, so the game doesn't keep running when you're paused, which is great. That wolf is right there. Okay, he's gonna let me study. Great. Okay, you are hungry, which reduces your total available stamina, represented by dark region and stamina bar. Blah blah blah. You eat food to reduce hunger. Cooked meals are significantly better at restoring hunger than raw, uncooked food. Eating raw meat may lead to contracting food poisoning. Okay. So we have that. We have our weapon here. Now this is the part about Wheeler that I don't remember by default. So I'm just going to throw everything on the one wheel, I guess. Now also, Veldun UI also has a Wheeler skin that you could add to this to kind of keep that same theme going. So just keep that in mind too. Right now, I believe it's like an untarnished Wheeler skin on here. And I'm not quite certain if this list is using Wheeler Refined or the standard Wheeler. But I guess the biggest way I'm going to learn is if I can't equip something on the wheel. Usually that's because it's a standard Wheeler and not Wheeler Refined. Honestly, I don't know why people aren't using Wheeler Refined at this point, because it just seems to be less glitchy. So hopefully that's what's on here. But I think maybe not, because usually Wheeler Refined will not remain large like this unless you customize the files somehow. It usually will, if you're running 4K, the wheel will get much smaller at 4K, and it will only be this size at 1080p. Okay, and then magic. Let's get that on there too. All right, so let's get this going. Don't die from this wolf at the beginning, please. Your health reaches 0. Oh my god, just one bite. Okay, so this is how the death mechanic works, just like I thought. So your health reached 0, you've died. A higher power intervened and pulled you back from the edge. However, in the process, you've been injured. After each death, you briefly become ethereal, and nearby enemies will disengage from combat and fully heal. You may either continue fighting or retreat. If left untreated, your injuries will get worse upon the next death. To recover from an injury, you must rest. So essentially, and then it says this message won't appear again. Essentially, you got to go to an inn or your bed at your house or wherever it may be. I believe it has to be at some place like an inn or a house to get fully healed when you rest. Does this have one-click power attack? No, it doesn't. Okay, so stances swap is C. So swapping it now. Swapping it again. Swapping it one more time. Okay, it seems to be all the same animation there. Let's try first person. Okay, I'll swap again. Okay, so first person animations are changing with the stance change. Something tells me there's... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's not mentioned on here, guys, but it says BFCO menu, but really what this is SKSE menu. So if you press F1, which it's not working now. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, now it's not working actually. I'm pressing F1. Okay. I'm sorry. I think for some reason... Okay, F1's working now. Okay, sorry about that. Something again with my keyboard and the FN button. That wasn't the game's fault. Okay, so you have BFCO menu. So that wasn't wrong. It did mean BFC menu was here. BFCO menu was here, but also it's a SKSE menu as well. So here you can adjust some things, but you can also see what's on the list. So TK dodge. Interesting. I've never seen TK dodge on SKSE before. SKSE menu. Simple follower framework. I believe that's probably a framework in place of something like a Nether's followers framework. Parry for all NPC names distributor. And then power attack. So I can see here power attack is mouse 4. That's why I could see the power attack was happening when I pressed that button. Okay, I got it. So I was trying to figure out if there's not one-click power attack, where's the power attack being registered to? So that's what it is. Okay. Got it. I'm trying to figure out why the animation doesn't change though for third person. So here's the biggest differentiator behind MCO and BFCO from what I heard is the ability to jump attack. I'm sure there's a lot of other factors to it as well, but I mean that's the one that I kind of took away as a major difference. All right, take a look at the world map here. Okay, my map of the land. I better not use it. Might be quite irritating task to get around without it. I see. I better not lose it. Okay. Good maps are hard to come by. Okay. This is actually a unique map. I've not seen this before. And what's interesting is that they're not marking the cities. They have it drawn out here where the cities are. Huh, that's really cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, like Dragon Bridge. It doesn't say Dragon Bridge there, but you can see in the picture there, that's what Dragon Bridge is. That's a cool map. I like it. So where are we? We're right here. I think we should hit up Markarth and work our way around the map this way. Let's see how far we make it. And I am sorry, but for review purposes, I think it's probably best we turn off survival mode so that we're not hung up on trying to survive more so than exploring. But I highly encourage you to keep survival mode on. I mean, if that's your thing, of course. Because that's the way it was intended to be played. Where's my marker at? It's right here. It's this way. Okay. Alright, we're going to start a 2-hour timer. 2-hour timer starting at 40 minutes into the to the series. 2-hour timer. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, 40 minutes into the video before we even started playing. And so, I mean, let me know in the comments if you want me to go into less detail in the beginning of the video. Or like how to set up everything. Or how everything kind of looks like in the beginning when you're first starting out the list. Then let me know and I'll try to tweak. If I get enough comments saying one way or another, I'll try and tweak the way I do things. But for the most part, this is kind of how I've always been doing it, so... Alright, so graphically, things look pretty good. Let's take a look at textures up close. Do a little bit of first person. Alright, so the ground textures look really good, like photorealistic good. Even the grass here and the plants look really great. It kind of falls apart here on some of the rock surfaces, but I believe a lot of the lists can be said for too, so it's not like this list is missing something. I believe, you know, sometimes it's about as good as it gets with modded Skyrim. I mean, overall they look really good. Trees. The tree looks really good too. You can see the little pine, individual pines on the tree. The sky looks high res as well. You know, what kind of surprised me is I've been playing Crimson Desert once in a while. I don't mean to talk about a different game while I'm playing this game, but I just want to mention one quick thing. The sky looks very low resolution in that game. But also, I mean, the whole game is 125 gigs about. And this one here is like 390. So, you know, you have more room to add higher resolution skies and all of that stuff with that much space you're asking for. Let's do some Warhammer. So this guy's running from something. Is that a bandit? Okay, so she just one-shot me.
Someone do something.
Luckily, this alternate death mechanic lets you kind of stay. I mean, you're injured, but you're still in the same area. Okay, we're changing stances up to try and see how it looks. Kill the horse? Oh my god. Okay, that worked out well. We got some cool stuff from that. Got a potion, apple. We're really slow right now. Oh, this is really like hard to survive in this world, isn't it? It's because our weight is only acceptable at 90. I've never seen such a harsh weight limit there before. Okay, putting the armor on helped. Still yet though. Not good. Let's go back to... Okay, I'm about to die actually. Let's go back to her and leave some stuff inside of her inventory. Alright, I'm already getting lower rim vibes as far as how deadly this world is. I'm not regenerating any stamina. Probably because I'm injured. Let me see what kind of injuries I got. Dude, I'm suffering here. Deep wounds. So after a near-death experience, your health recovers 25% slower. You're not trained to use heavy armor, therefore wearing it will exhaust you quickly. Okay, we gotta change out the heavy armor. Injury has worsened. Your health recovers 50% slower. Reduced magicka. Reduced stamina. And magic deals 20% more damage to you. Okay, yeah, we're hurting, guys. Probably best to hightail it out of here. So what direction are we going? Let's get out of here. And let's wear light armor again. Ah, jeez. But the light armor makes us heavier. Yeah, it's definitely giving me survival vibes here. Having trouble surviving already. I'm only like a few minutes into actually running around. And because this doesn't have STB widgets, I'm not too sure, or at least unless you enable it on your own, which they call it buggy. I'm not too sure what my movement speed is. I'm not used to checking it any other way. Is there a way to check it here? Where would you look at it? General stats, maybe? No. Yeah, I'm not sure what my movement speed is, but it's not very quick. Alright, so we happen upon a horse here, which is great. Let's test out the horse mechanics a little bit. Also, let's get some of this heavy armor off of us. That was a mistake picking that up. And let's get this guy's first shoes off of him. And maybe a steel spear here. Okay. Our guy does not look very good right now. And then the steel spear. Okay. Let's see how this spear looks. Okay, so that's one weapon art. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, that's the same one. Okay, so far swords seem to all have the same animation, no matter what stance you're in third person. But perhaps there's something in the skills menu that we'll see hopefully later that will allude to maybe unlocking different skills later, or different actual stance animations. Or maybe it's just intended to be first person. I don't know. Hopefully we'll figure that out as we're running. Okay, so first person animations for the spear. Change the stance. Okay, so the short spears seem to be treated very similarly, in fact, identically to short swords. It's the same animation. I believe we're approaching Markarth right now, right around the corner here. So let's take a look at Markarth before we move on.
Think we could buy more horses next season?
I'd rather spend the gold on a new litter of pups, but the horses bring in more gold.
Okay, there's modern wait menu, it looks like. You can wait around with that. With the T button as usual. Let's take a look at how the overall vibe is out here. Yeah, graphically it looks pretty good. They're definitely going for the more lush vibe here. Let's see how Markarth looks like inside. Okay, that's the second time we've seen game pause. So it looks like the game pauses maybe when you go into cities or a new cell. This is good though, because right here you have only a limited amount of time if you're not paying attention to stop the killer from killing. I don't know, is it Margaret? Whatever her name is over here. This guy right here.
Oh, this pendant was
Finally, for the people of the Reach!
Better than
I'd die for my
by the
people.
divine. The Forsworn are here in the city.
Everyone, stay back. The Markarth City Guard has this all under control. There are no Forsworn here.
Okay, this is how the NPC looks. Now, if you press O, you can change body types. But it looks like only for the female.
Damn, God, another body to get
Woman attacked right on the street.
The males don't have himbo, it looks like.
Note. It's important. Damn, another.
So like for example, okay. They got some pretty aggressive body types here. Like for example, this one.
Body to get rid of.
Well, actually that one looks pretty subtle. The name kind of looked like it was aggressive. Okay. So yeah, these are all the different body types. Okay, so Markarth. Let's take a little bit of a run around. So definitely a lush vibe I'm getting here. I can tell the running animations, not running animation, but the running sounds are very clear. You can hear the character's light armor kind of moving around his body, with the steps on the ground that he's making.
What is this?
A nail?
Is that what you call it? In the Legion, we would call it.
I've never seen this before, like such greenery on top of the wooden planks. And I think, you know, SkyGround seems to be going for kind of that whimsical feel as well. So, you know, this is all part of their design language.
They don't like us talking to people when we work. All right then.
How's the water look? The water looks really good. I'm really impressed with what they do with Skyrim waters. It looks like there's no wade in water in this list though. It looks like you can move around water as fast as you are if you're on land. A little bit of flashing with the textures there. I don't know if you saw that. Let's see if I can replicate it. Yeah, I can't replicate it. It's alright. So the city overhauls in this list are not the typical JKs. I believe I saw JK maybe once inside the MO2 when I typed it. So there's a lot of different overhauls going on in this list. Let's take a look at a couple interiors, look at some interior lighting, and then we're gonna head down towards Riverwood via... Yeah, when you change cells, it looks like it does game pause. We're gonna head down towards Riverwood via like Falkreath area.
Come on in. The Silverblood Inn has plenty of strong drink and clean.
Looks like they had the mod where the dialogue is above the characters. Interior lighting looks good. Again, this preset that we're playing is Ivy's custom tuned cabbage EMB. Yeah, the shadows look great inside here. Fire looks good. Textures look great. The ground textures look really good. Even the food textures look really good. Now, Markarth, I like to check out the Shrine of Talos. So that's usually a pretty cool look, pretty cool sight to see.
What am I supposed to do? Never leave the house? You want that ending?
You're closing the stall, and that's fine.
You want to give up now, out of fear? Is that what we're going to teach our daughter?
Why are you and Papa fighting?
We're not fighting, we're just...
Yeah, it looks good. Lighting looks good in here. This light doesn't make much sense though. I don't see any flame from here. But it's emitting some kind of light. I think what was happening here was supposed to be happening there. But it looks like maybe both sides are kind of affected the same way. Maybe intentional, maybe not, I don't know. You can tell you're playing a Requiem list, your health isn't regenerating as well, usually. But, I mean, maybe that's because also I died a bunch of times and I'm getting murdered by the alternate death mechanic. So which reminds me, we should try to sleep at the inn here to recover. Do we have any money for that? We have 6 gold. Okay. We're gonna have to sell some stuff in hopes that we'll get enough gold to sleep.
Did you hear all that noise outside?
It's just the market dabble. We should get back to work. You there, if you're here to trade, step up to the counter.
I am. You're just out of reach though.
No, I'm not Arnleaf. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Okay, we have ruby, we have dog meat, we have green apple, we sold heck, she'll buy the journal from us. We'll sell the journal. We will sell the wolf heart and the wolf pelt and the old book. And I mean that's all I got to sell really. And she'll give me a lot for the Warhammer. I suppose we should sell that real quick and maybe find something later. Okay, we have 70 gold.
Come back whenever you need something.
Let's hope this list has a good pricing on the inns. Not quite sure how I feel about the pause menu always happening every time you switch. It has its pros and cons like anything, I suppose. I think the greenery is really growing on me though. Can't wait to see how Whiterun looks. So if this is too expensive, then we're gonna have to figure out another way to sleep in this game.
Come on in. The Silverblood Inn has
Oh,
plenty of
Remio.
strong
Okay,
drink.
so you got Remio in here as a follower.
This is the Silverblood Inn. I'll let you
100
figure out who
gold?
owns it by yourself.
Damn you.
What does this look like? The Temple of Mara? No gold, no bed.
Hi?
Remember, ale is cheaper than blood. in Markarth.
Let's see if she'll follow us.
Shall we get going?
Okay, great. Remio will follow us. Swiftly order menu is 8. Swift key. Okay, swiftly order key. Perfect. Okay. We have a follower for this run, which should help alleviate some. At least, hopefully, she'll be a distraction at the very least. But I think you can also have her unlock some stuff. So if we come across some chests we want to unlock, that should help. Which reminds me, I believe that unlocks a skill for her. Call Remio. Calls her to your side. And then, no, usually there's a skill with her that allows her to open stuff. Maybe I gotta do a quest with her first before I get it. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out for it. But we spent like 22 minutes inside of Markarth, or in this beginning section, so we gotta start running, man. I also noticed just now that my metrics were gone, so I just turned it back on again. It looks like maybe in the beginning when I was fumbling around the buttons with the SKSE menu, I might have shut it off. So 42 FPS, holding steady right now, 40 FPS. It feels pretty stable. I checked the MO2, EMB frame gen is off, so this is all raw performance. But it doesn't feel slow or anything. It feels pretty smooth. Feels pretty smooth. Is Remio following us?
Did you need something?
Yeah, are you following us? Let's see.
And thank you for taking me, that is.
Dude, she just gave us 500 gold.
Oh, that's it. I'm never using
She
warming
was
oil
actually
in a
really
potion
good to find. That was a godsend. That'll
Yes.
help us sleep at the next inn. But since we're already on the road, we're gonna have to sleep at the next inn, not this. We're not gonna go back now at this point. So I can't sprint or anything, guys, because of how damaged I am right now. So we're gonna have to just jog at this pace. So you gotta bear with me here. It certainly is a deadly world to survive in, and that's with survival mode off even. It's just from getting my butt kicked. Now I remember when I played Apostasy for the first time, I got my butt kicked so many times. I really liked the fact that I felt like my guy was so hurt that he couldn't keep going on, and he had to like desperately get to an inn to sleep. I like that. As you get higher level in Apostasy though, you start to not feel that pain so much because you kind of power through everything. But at low level, this death alternative is kind of fun. the fact that you get so hurt, but then it doesn't make you have to like run back to wherever you went. It's a little controversial. There's a lot of people who don't like the fact that you go ethereal. They find it too forgiving. And so I say there's a lot of other death alternatives out there you could swap it out with if you're skilled enough to be able to do so. Like, I kind of like the one that Nova's had. Personally, and there's a lot of controversy with that one too. Some people don't like that one. Where it's like Shadow of Skyrim, I believe it's called, where you basically have like some type of nemesis system when you die, and then you kind of get teleported somewhere else when you die. This wolf's totally gonna kill us. I think I need to use fire.
Why does everything want to kill us? Oh, Scrap, are you okay? I'll fix you right up, I promise.
So far, things are running pretty smooth. I'm not getting high FPS, but I'm getting smooth frames. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but it just feels smooth, even though it's 42. It feels steady. I don't feel any hitches or any stuttering. We're out of potions though, aren't we? Are we? No, we have this. I don't know if that's gonna do anything though. Oh, we got some stamina back though. Oh shit, some wolves. Can already tell right now on this list that wolves are gonna be some trouble. See right there? And now we're like super damaged. But you can keep powering through it. But now I'm hurt even more. Yeah, your health recovers 75% slower, and healing spells and potions have no effect on you. So basically, even if I got a potion right now, it's useless. I desperately need to get to an inn.
Hail, friend.
No, I'm
Cheers,
good.
my friend.
Good seeing you again, buddy.
Find you fame and fortune.
Come on, Remio. Oh, shit. Another wolf. Okay, you got this one. You tank. I'm gonna get one-shotted. Go ahead. No, 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 no.
There's got to be easier prey for you to hunt.
Jesus Christ.
Why does everything want to kill us? So good, Scrap.
This is rough, man. This is probably the roughest time I've had on a list. What's the settings at? Is at adept. I don't know if that setting even has any effect on the game's difficulty, or if it's all pre-tuned somewhere else. Like the MCM mentioned it was. Or that message about the MCM saying that the settings for the difficulty level was somewhere else. We'll just slog it out though. We'll just slog it out. We'll see how far we make it. I don't know if we're gonna make it around the whole map like we usually do with how much we're slogging it out though.
Scrap, rip them open.
Oh my god. The only way we're gonna survive this is if we cheese the troll. Level 14. Okay, yeah, no, we gotta break out of here. Okay, thanks, Remiel. See, she came in handy. She's taking the attention away from me. Alright, so I just got a notification actually on my Discord that Ivy just pushed out hotfix for hotfix update 3.2.4. So this video again is on 3.2.3, but it looks like the hotfix has just changed a few it does a few tweaks, but it doesn't really affect the gameplay in general from what we're doing here. So I think this is still a valid playthrough. So we're gonna keep going. So this is definitely a modded overhauled area. I don't even recognize this. And all these are the crossroads here to going to Dragon Bridge or wherever else. You can see where the crossroads are for by looking at the sign here. So this is a pretty nice picture. Oh yeah, you got the picture, lady. I think, is there an inn here? Maybe we could sleep. No, that's a camp. That must be an inn, right? What does it say? Yep, the Arid Star Lodge. Let's go in there.
Come on in. We got warm food. Hello there, traveler. Need a room?
Yes.
Sure thing. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Anything you need, just let me know.
Okay, it looks like our bed was on the ground level.
Don't make trouble and don't stay too long.
Okay, so let's change up some of our combat here, right? So let's go with a dagger and see how that looks. Let's take a look at our... Okay, so we still got some afflictions here. Drink alcohol or relax to remove this effect. Drink alcohol or relax. Magic does 20% more damage to you. Altmer blood. Okay, so I don't know if we can rest that off. We're well rested. So I don't know what it means by relax. We'll sleep a little bit more. Did that do anything? No. Maybe we're gonna have to drink some alcohol then.
Need a room? Take a look.
What's the cheapest alcohol you got? Alright, we'll drink that.
And anything you need, just let me know.
Okay. Oh, still there. Okay, no longer feeling stressed. The little thing popped up on the top right there. Okay, good to go. Good to go. So, one thing I noticed is, I don't know if this list has... I didn't check for it because I just didn't think of... What the hell? Okay, we're drunk. Our guy's drunk, so he just fell down on his own. Oblivion interaction icon. So usually there's an icon when you look at something you can interact with, or either a person or a bed or whatever it is. This one just says that. Oh man, this list is too much. This guy is wasted. Come on, dude. We got an hour and 25 minutes left on this run. You can't be falling down like that. Jesus Christ. Oh, come on, man. You got this. Keep going. Okay, he's doing well. He's doing well. Alright, we're gonna move it to... We're gonna hit up Falkreath, and we're gonna head down to Riverwood. Jeez. Okay, so quite a bit of things slowing us down here on this list here. At least playing it, I'm trying to play it as natural as possible, but some things aren't built to be running around in an efficient manner, and this game, this mod list, the way it comes, is not built for Skyrim Marathon to be running around within a 2-hour time frame around most of the map. It really wants you to kind of take your time, it seems. And that's good. I mean, that's good on it. It's a little too much at this point. I wonder if I just rest or if I just wait it out. Let's see. Okay, hopefully that did it. Let's save here. Alright, so dagger, we already know how fire works, so we're gonna maybe do some dual wielding. Okay, so that is one stance. Let's change the stance again. Okay, great, look at that. So stance is third person. Looks like it does change. Change the stance again to eagle stance. Okay. Now we change it back to bear stance. Wait. Bear stance kind of look the same now. Let's try again. Okay, bear stance. Oh shit, man. Poor rabbit. Okay, and then wolf stance. Yep, that's obviously different. Then eagle stance. Okay, so eagle and then bear. Okay, eagle and bear are a little bit different. First person? Let's see. Okay. Change it up. Okay, change the stance again.
Happy to have you. I hired mercenaries when exploring rooms in High Rock, but they were a bit scary.
So 34 FPS, but I don't know why, but this performance feels smooth at 34 still. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but I felt higher FPS in sublists that felt a lot more stuttery and slower for some reason. But 34, 35 FPS I'm showing on my screen here feels really smooth. Wrong way. Yeah, the horses are still, looks like, kind of true to their vanilla shape. They got kind of a real round shape to them. There is a good retexture on them though. They look a lot better than vanilla.
Never should have come here. Just scratch.
Please don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die, don't die. Oh my god, I almost died on that one. She was way higher level than me. Okay, cool. We got another dagger. We can do dual wielding daggers. Dude, she almost killed me. Did we incur any damage on that? Let's see. Nope. Alright. Yeah, and where is Remio? There you're at. Alright, we're almost to Falkreath. Just around this way. The forest feels great though. Nice and lush. There's no like depth of field on here. Which, you know, usually I don't like depth of field anyways, so that's good. Lately, I've been kind of learning to like depth of field, but only like a real dramatic one. I don't like subtle depth of field, but like really dramatic ones that look kind of like good photo opportunities is great. Yeah, look at this overhaul. This is Falkreath. This is definitely an unrecognizable Falkreath to me. Let's take a look at it. So we got Shrine of Arcade, Hall of the Dead here. Oh wow, man, this looks really different than any Falkreath I've ever seen before. I like the style. This looks really good. I gotta take a picture of here. This could be very well be the wallpaper, or not wallpaper, but the thumbnail for the video. Alright, something's going on here. The guards got all riled up. What happened? Okay, we got dead goat. We got 2 dead goats. Okay, we just got 2 dead goats. And this guard here seems a little confused.
I can't believe we let provincials like you wander Skyrim.
Okay. And we got a racist guy over there. Yeah, I really like this. This is a very good overhaul. I like this on Falkreath. I'm glad we came through here on our run. Really digging it. Kinda almost feels like I'm playing Sky Oblivion right now. Yeah, we'll take a look at the interior, then we'll head on to Riverwood. I can't wait to see actually what Riverwood looks like.
Just stoke the fire.
Okay, so the interior is standard. I've seen this interior before.
Welcome to Dead Man's Drink.
Hear any juicy gossip in town? Be sure to share it with me.
So let's keep going. Yeah, I gotta say, best Falkreath I've ever seen. I don't know how lore friendly it is, but I don't care. I think it looks really good. Alright, let's go dual wielding daggers for a little bit. Okay, let's change that up to bear stance. And then
Oh, that's definitely going to bruise.
all right, Riverwood. What's our best route here? Maybe this way? Yeah, we'll go this way. There were definitely some FPS drops going on inside Falkreath. I don't blame it though, it was pretty overhauled. A lot of nice textures going on in there. I mean, let's take a look at it from the top here. I'm in love with this overhaul. It looks awesome. Look, even that little tower there. Looks great. Even from this angle.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut
Well,
you
what's
like
going
a
on here?
fish. Don't you look away from me.
Alright, Remio. Do your thing. Do your thing, Remio. Oh, come on. You can't kill me. Damn. Now I'm injured. Remio, do something. Stop drinking potions. Stop drink. Where do you get all these potions from? God damn her. Not cool. And now she's pretending that nothing happened. Look, she's just walking by me now. Like we didn't just do a fight to the death twice.
I don't want any trouble. Not after what you did to me last time.
Do you hear? After what it doesn't want any trouble after what I did to her last time.
What might you need?
What do you have to say about this? Anything? Okay, we'll just let it go for now. No harm. No harm done. Alright, so that answers the question. This list does have paraglider in it.
You know, there's just something about fire. It's so compelling to look at, to play with.
Yeah, the flight platform's up there. I'm conflicted. I kind of want to go out of the way to go get it, but also I feel like that goes against the marathon because we're gonna skip over a bunch of stuff. Dead again. Dead again. I've died like 3 times in that 20 seconds I was just there. Now our dude is like super injured. Look at that list of debuffs. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Torn ligaments, shattered sternums, necrotic wounds, broken mind. It's a really deadly world, that's for sure. So if you play this list, just I would say don't take it lightly, because everything is much deadlier. I would say compare it. I want to say compare it to Lorim's difficulty, but I think I had an easier time running through Lorim than this list. So to those of you who like the challenge of a list in a deadly Skyrim world, that's like you gotta like really, I guess, plan every little stat that you have to build your guy out, which is great. I mean, that's actually, you know, I can see the appeal to that. Definitely this is a list for you if you're into that. But if you're in it to have just like a fun, easy time, maybe the other setting that they mentioned earlier in the beginning might be for you. In fact, for testing purposes and for contrast, let's switch to the other setting. I can rationalize it that way and see how that goes. So let's see if we can find it in the MCM here. What was it called in the MCM? I don't recall them mentioning a name, but I could have just not noticed it. Is it Requiem? No. Roleplay? No. Starting choices? No. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I wish it stood out more. So we're just gonna tough it out, guys. We're gonna tough it out. Like we originally planned, we're gonna tough it out. Oh my god. Also, Remiel is nowhere to be seen as usual. She's terrible at following closely. I have to say, like, I don't know. I mean, if I had to choose between the two, STB widgets or quick loot, I think I've already learned to live without quick loot for so long now that STB widgets, I'm really missing it. Like, not knowing my guy's speed or his resistances, like on the corner of the screen, or even what time of day it is on the corner of the screen. I kind of miss that. All right, so perfect. We got the Riverwood. We're gonna sleep in Riverwood before we keep going, so we can get rid of all these ailments. I think we're gonna have to get drunk in Riverwood as well, but this time we're gonna wait it off before we go to get rid of the stress and fear part. I think we're gonna do that first before we
Tools, wares, and
we're gonna do that first and rest up before, so we can see Riverwood in the daytime. Maybe like mid-morning.
Orgnar. Are you listening?
Yeah, this is overhauled inside as well.
Gale is
Usually
going
there's a
down.
big
Leave
fire
it.
pit here.
Did you hear me?
Yep,
Delphine?
Gale's going
Yeah, that's
bad.
Delphine. So
I guess you
Delphine,
don't- You're
that's
that
her
visitor been
NPC
poking
replacer.
around.
Welcome.
Wait,
Let me know
can I
if
rent
you
it from
want
her? There we go.
think I got a
Sure
clean
thing.
bug around here
It's yours for a day.
By the way, I'm the Dragonborn. Does that mean anything to you? Alright, let's sleep. Hour and 4 minutes left, man. We just made it to Riverwood. Okay, so we're dirty. We got some combat stress. Okay, dirty part. Maybe we won't do anything about, but let's see if we can drink some alcohol.
What should I do when we stop
Interesting.
next? I can finish reading my book, or maybe finish reading my other book.
Hands off!
Or maybe I could. Finish my
Oh
other
man, I
other
thought I
book.
could get away with just drinking that real quick. I'm sorry.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Alright, well, since we're at it, let's see if I can secretly drink enough. He's right here. Okay. How's that for stress? I can already see our guy falling down dirty. Jesus. Alright, he's gonna have to wait and sober up a... Alright, sober up, man. You good? Okay. Nope, he's not
You're
good.
that visitor been poking
He's not
around.
good yet. Alright. Has to be good now. It's been like 4 hours. Okay, so yeah, very green Riverwood. I've always been a fan of really green Riverwoods. I don't know so much about my computer being a fan of it though, because it is pretty hard on your computer to render such a heavily overhauled Riverwood for sure. But there's no denying it's really nice to look at. We're gonna switch up our combat here. We're gonna do Iron Club and Shield. Heavy armor. Exertion. Do we have heavy armor on? We don't even have heavy armor on. Unless it's talking about the shield. Perhaps the shield is what it's talking about. Alright, let's test out some swings here. Alright, change the stance. Oh, damn it. Wolves.
You rush them, and I'll circle around behind them. Come on, you milk drinker. Ah! Shior, curse you!
Alright, these crabs are taking a big chunk out of me.
Come on, you aren't afraid of a little spider, are you?
This is no good, Remiel. Yeah, don't pick a fight with that troll, please. In fact, we can't even pick a fight with these wolves. They're gonna totally kill us. So we're gonna have to bypass them. Ryx N. Is there a instance somewhere here? It looks like Ryx N was like something you can go into. You see? Is there something here? Maybe it's just the name of the area. It's just the name of the area, huh? Alright, so nice overhauls to the bridges. Definitely the green. They're going for the green look for Whiterun. There is definitely an overhaul to the walls of Whiterun, but it's not quite as extensive as what list did I play last? Was it Origins of Frost? Origins of Frost, I think, had a huge overhaul to this whole area with Whiterun walls. Yep, definitely has the wet effects on the skin and the armor. The shield. Nice little touch there.
By Eastmere, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north by the Lauria's farm. Who had a coffin in the park?
It's unfortunate that even though we rested, there's a stress and fear mechanic here that's still there, even though we drank some alcohol. And then it says they have heavy armor on and that will exhaust quickly. I'm thinking that's probably the shield. So let me take the shield off. Let's see if that goes away. Yeah, it's the shield. So I guess you have to use like leather shields maybe instead of a steel shield, and that's probably why I was getting that issue.
must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own.
I definitely like the
Why don't you
detail
follow
that
and ask Yorland Greymane for help.
that the city has with the greenery.
Consider Ben my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak.
It's really lush.
Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
Let's look at it a little bit in first person view. Let's go into Bellathor's real quick. Ysolda.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
Never seen that overhaul in Ysolda before.
Everything's for sale, my friend.
I don't know why.
Everything. If I had a sister,
But he looks like
sell her
a
in second.
he looks a lot smaller than he used to.
I'd even buy one of your relatives. Oh,
Maybe I'm just
there's
really
a
tall.
bit of that.
Is there anything I can sell? We'll sell some of this dog meat. And this journal. And we'll sell some of that. And the short spear. And the steel shield. And I think that's good.
Come back.
So interior lighting. Let's take a look inside here. I like that statue. Looks good. Real high res, even that statue. Look at that. That looks really nice. You can see like dust particles floating in the sun. In the sun rays coming through. That's really nice. These wood boxes and crates, they look really high res as well. The stairs look high res. That looks really cool. Those bottles. I wonder what that's supposed to be. Like a mana potion, maybe? You know, so come to think of it, I don't think I've ever been up here on any of my playthroughs. So this is where he sleeps, huh? He followed me up here. He doesn't trust me. He's like, what are you doing here?
You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call.
He actually follows you. That's funny. Okay, move out of the way though. Stuck. Jeez.
Be careful.
You be careful. Dude, you're in the way. Okay, what's in here? Ah, this is his bed. And then Sigurd. What is Ysolda doing in your room, dude? Got something to say about that? Bellathor. What is Ysolda doing here? Ysolda, what are you doing here?
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience if I'm going to run an inn someday.
Something's going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but
I need inspiration, ideas.
maybe there's some lore behind that, huh?
Throw out some thoughts. My brain is bored.
Yeah, the Bellathor's shop has a little bit of a overhaul there. It's a lot more cluttered than usual. It looks good though. I always like Bellathor's and every time I come through Whiterun. Okay. Graphically, this is awesome. It seems like 42 is a magic number. I keep hitting 42 and then going back down again on FPS. But again, for the most part, it feels really smooth, even at 42, or even when it gets down to like 30. Now I'm going up though. 45 FPS, 47. But it feels really smooth for such a heavily overhauled Whiterun. It's a pretty smooth experience. I think we're super injured right now, aren't we? We need to go sleep at the inn, which is good because I kind of want to see the inn here. Are we super injured? Let's see. No, we just got combat stress. Okay. Maybe we'll buy some alcohol. The lighting looks really good in here. Again, look at those dust particles. Really cool. Graphically, this list is pretty up there. By the way, that game pause screen is... At first I thought I had to hit escape every time, but if you just start moving forward, it unpauses. So it's actually not too bad of an inconvenience like I was thinking it might have been. It's a cool little seal right there on the ground. Take a run through this way. Oh, that's a nice fountain. That fountain's really going off, man. I don't remember that fountain being that active.
You better give me 5 septims right now or I'm gonna bloody your nose.
No, please. I really don't have any money, Blake. I'll give you 10 septims tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
10 septims tomorrow.
You see the rain hitting the ground. It's a nice touch. The leaves look a little wet. They're moving a little. Nice shade being casted from this tree over here to the well. Alright, let's rent a room. Hopefully it won't be as weird as the last time we slept at the Bannered Mare. If you saw the Origins of Frost video, it was a little bit of an awkward experience there.
Come on in. No, please. Hold your applause.
Let's see how she looks.
Go blade to blade with
Yeah,
me.
even she got
You begin
overhauled.
in 6 seconds.
Now, oh, there once was
Yeah,
a
the
hero
lighting looks
named
good
Ragnar
inside.
who came riding to Whiterun from old Warwickstead.
The Sadia right there. No, that's Alam. I never knew Alam was a person in this game. This guy's usually chilling around by the campfire. I never saw the seating area here before.
Need something?
Oh, Lydia looks overhauled too.
Huh?
Now I think it's high time that you lie down and breathe. So they came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full seal.
Okay, that's interesting. So usually the room is up here, right? And then now over here, there's probably a shower room. Yep.
No thunder. I like...
No splashing in the water here, though. See that? I heard a little bit. Nope. Kind of a weird water effect going on in there. Where's the lady that runs the place? I need to rent the room. There's a lot of bedrooms in here, that's for sure. No, I didn't want to go outside. Whoops. That's interesting that the grass is, or the tree is going through a balcony here. Nice. That's free. What? It's not in my inventory though. See, courtesy hunting brew mead, right? So shift E just grabs it instead of drinking it. But it's not in my inventory. And he's not drinking it. Hmm. Something going on. Something is going on there. I don't think it's working the way it's supposed to.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Okay, I heard that. That's the lady that I need to talk to for a room.
Looking for my husband, Nazim? Check the Jarl's backside. That's usually where he stuffs himself these days.
That Heimskir's crazy. Him and his talk of Talos. We should just shut up.
This is your final warning. Oh, let's start over.
Alright, let's
Mikhail.
speed through this.
I'm Ferris.
And then
You
recruit
traveling
her
through
because
or
this
new to
game
the
is
city?
so freaking
That's
hard
took you long enough. Let's
that
go.
we could use all the help we can get. Now we got her and Remio. Maybe we'll stand a chance in these battles against these dang wolves on the side of the road. Alright, let's get out of here. We didn't have to sleep anyways. We just had to drink some alcohol. But it's alright. We'll keep going. We're still at half health though.
I've got a hungry daughter to feed, so selling life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard is the worst.
Alright, we got 46 minutes left. Game's holding up really well so far. Very stable. Not out of the danger zone yet, but we'll see how it holds up till the very end. Okay. So, usually, at this point, I would cut across to Riften, and then go up to Windhelm, and etc., and go up all the way this way. But I'm feeling a little different today. I think today, we're definitely not going to make it to Solitude. Or maybe we can. Here's what we'll do. We'll cut across to Morthal, hit up Solitude, then cut across to Dawnstar, Winterhold, and Windhelm. And we may run out of time at Windhelm. If we're lucky, we'll even get to Windhelm. But let's do that to mix it up a little bit. Because we're gonna have, because of how difficult this game's kind of been and how much it slowed me down, I don't think we're gonna get to see all of the cities today. But mixing it up in this sense might give us a little bit of a change of scenery. It's not often we cut across these grasslands, which are very floral, might I add. We're hitting 26 FPS going through here. There's a lot going on. We got rain. We got huge draw distances. A lot of grass. But it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like I'm lagging out or anything. So, I don't know. Kudos on them for making 30 FPS feel smooth, but they somehow did it. Feels pretty decent. Even 27 right now for a moment. Still doesn't feel too bad.
saves my kind of scrambling back over the rocks.
I really wish I regenerated health in this game. That would be nice. I hear a wolf somewhere.
What was that?
All right, these guys are level 1. We can take them, guys.
Back now.
Did he just one-shot me? A level 1 skeleton just one-shot me? No way. He did it again, didn't he? He just one-shot me again. Level 1. I don't understand. It's a bit odd. But, I mean, that already has probably injured us quite a bit, right? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so, lesson learned. Don't take their level as something that counts towards you being able to beat them. Because that level 1 one-shot me. And then also, there was like a... I don't know, a much higher level bandit on the road, side of the road earlier that I almost beat. So a little bit of a, I don't even know where you would go to try and fix something like that, but there's a little bit of a disconnect there.
You can do it. Push up a second. Something's off.
Just come with us. Oh, hot air balloon. That's cool. The scenery looks really good, though. Like, look at that distance.
Sorry, I'm irritable today.
With the rain and the dark clouds. Definitely sets a good ambiance there. They really sell you on the rain really happening. Like, the bad weather's actually there. Moments like this, I wish I went out of my way to get that glider earlier. Alright, we're gonna do a crazy jump here. There we go. What is this on the edge? Have you guys seen this before? I've never seen this before. Is this an Easter egg? Let's see. Let's go carefully. Oh my god! That was not careful. Now I need to know what that is, though. Is that a... What kind of book is that? Come on, Sky Parkour. Give me a prompt. I need to jump back up. I need to know what that book is. Need to get back up there somehow. Okay, here we are. It's just a random book. Oh wait, no, but there's a strong box with a bunch of gems. Okay, that was worth it. We might need the money later. We'll sell that. That was worth it. That's interesting. So that's right over here on the map. Come on, just fight them. What are you doing coming after me? Oh my god.
You can't hurt me. Come on, come on! Ice wraiths can blend in with the environment. Listen for the hissing.
Alright, we beat it. I never thought beating an ice wraith would feel like such a feat, but it does. Oh my god, we just died. I didn't jump, I swear, I just kind of fell off that little ledge there. We're gonna have to hit up an inn in Morthal and sleep this off again. But I suppose it's nice that it's not sending us to like some other place every time we die. For that, I am grateful. I'm definitely grateful for that. What time is it? It is... Okay, it's 6:01. Alright, so we're getting here to Morthal. Definitely, retextured.
What's the Jarl going to
It
do?
almost looks like...
How are we supposed to feel safe in our own
I
home?
believe it's overhauled a little. It's subtle.
I learned to play a
It's a subtle
Do you think
overhaul.
having that musical knowledge would make tonal energy easier to understand?
Need for wizards in our midst.
Yeah, like these buildings I don't think quite look like this normally. But the layout, the true layout of this area is... even this entrance right here has been moved. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of overhaul going on here. I wouldn't say it's as dramatic as what they did with Falkreath though. Which is... that took me off guard. I know we don't hit Falkreath on every run, but that was...
Stay a while. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Welcome to Moorside. If you need anything, I'll be around.
Her voice doesn't sound like it's recorded with quality. It sounds like a mod here that just has bad audio quality for their voice.
Seems not everyone appreciates Lurbuck's performances, hey?
Take a look.
I don't know if that's avoidable. Like if you have to have this modded lady here, or because I mean the standard innkeeper's voice is usually sufficient.
Farewell.
In my opinion.
There ain't much to offer, but sure thing. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Until next time.
It's like, it kind of sounds like she's talking in like a long hallway.
Let me know if there's... Anything else you need?
Okay, critical combat stress, reduced magicka. Okay, so we still got that issue. I mean, I hate drinking alcohol though, because we start stumbling everywhere. Let's see. Is that enough to get rid of it? Okay, somewhat stressed still. That guy's jamming out. Alva.
Well, aren't you the handsome one?
Alva's dangerous.
Spend some time together.
So you can drink my blood? No
Hey, now,
way.
you be careful with that fire.
Oh, look at. Is she dancing? She looked like she was about to dance.
Do you drink? I had too much.
There
once.
ain't much
Woke
to
up the
offer.
next day half
Take a
full of
look.
I need more
gin,
alcohol,
and half my
please.
clothes. I steer mostly
And
clear now.
damn, soap is 110? Yeah, I think we're gonna just be dirty for this playthrough. Oh wait, no, blue floral soap is 2 gold. Okay, we'll take that. Oh, even this lavender soap is not bad. And plain soap? Okay, good. We need more alcohol though. Okay.
Right then.
Let's see how that does with our guy. Okay, no, he definitely drunk. Definitely drunk off his ass now. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. We just gotta wait this off. Okay. All right, let's head to. Man, we should hit Solitude for sure. Yeah, we gotta see. It's a major city. Let's go. Now remember, all of our playthroughs, this area has been really rough on the FPS. So far it's not doing too bad though. 34 FPS. It's performing very similar to like how it did around Falkreath, I think. Again, I don't know what they did, but they made the low FPS not seem as noticeable. I don't know if I'm just imagining it or if that's an optimization like tweak that they did somehow. I do wish that there was more effects of the water though. Like just wait in water to slow you down while you're running in the water would just add a lot more immersion. I don't know. Maybe that's a unstable mod in there and modless author's opinion, and that's why they chose not to use it. I don't know. Is this it? Okay, yeah, we're approaching it from a different angle than usual. Oh shit, he's on my ass. Yeah, I can't imagine a list like this having a little bit of a hitch there. I can't imagine a list like this having a vanilla Solitude, so we're probably in for a little bit of an overhaul here. Yeah, you can tell right here, just the docks alone are a lot busier than usual. There's a lot more boats in the dock. I think that may be a missing texture. You see that really purple top to that roof there? Let's go take a look. So underwater swimming. You definitely have good swimming animations here. Yeah, this is all overhauled. Now I wonder if this dock, this texture missing here, if that's missing up close as well, because I don't see it anymore. Oh wait, I just ran into a wall there. Let's see. What building was it? I feel like it was that building right over there. Huh. Maybe it was just missing from afar, but it's... I've never seen that before, but I guess it's all good up close. There's a lot more like clutter add-ons here to Solitude. Like I've seen a similar layout before, but I've never seen this much clutter. Performance-wise, we're getting like 33 FPS. There's a little bit more frame hitching here, though. Now, keep in mind, like, I'm playing this on 4K, and the recommended specs are to be playing it on a 4070 and 2K, so there's a little bit of underpoweredness that you need to take into account here, that I'm playing it on kind of a highly demanding setting here. Textures all look great though. NPCs look pretty good too. Got 26 minutes left. So far so good. Stability wise. Performance is decent. Yeah, look at that. That's quite a bit going on in Solitude here. There's a lot of verticality on the buildings.
There shouldn't be children here. If it's going to happen at all, young people shouldn't have to see things like this.
Get on with it!
Let's take a look at the NPCs.
Tell her that her uncle is scum that betrayed his high king. Best she know now.
Excuse me, I'm trying to watch a traitor to the Emperor
my brother up there.
You helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape.
Yes?
After he murdered High King Tori.
Rogvir always talked about his honor.
Did you need
Seems
something?
to me, honorable
Not right
men.
now.
He doesn't deserve to speak.
I think the NPCs are decent in this list. I don't think that they're the best NPCs I've seen. But that could be a, again, that could be a performance choice.
Good afternoon.
Some of them have like this, her face is definitely not. In fact, these two NPCs look identical.
Yes?
So Kella and
Need
Holdris. Maybe they're supposed to be twins, I don't know.
Long time to get an understanding of how dwarven spiders work.
But look at this.
Yes?
Valenka looks exactly the same too. So there's some duplicates going on here. Even she looks like them. Kind of weird. I've never seen so many of the same looking NPC before. Maybe they're just filler NPCs.
Good afternoon.
Or like, look at that, Leo.
Need something?
It's the same person in different clothes. Okay, yeah, they're not twins. They're just a bunch of NPCs that all look the same.
Ah, that was a nice breeze.
Okay, no LOTD, that's for sure. Now you can know for a fact that because it would be right here. Blue Palace, we're gonna do our usual run through it. Take a look at the NPCs in there, run back out. Hit up an inn on the way out at the Winking Skeever, and then head towards Dawnstar. Lighting looks good. A lot of natural lighting coming through from the sun through the windows.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are
And you
coming
can
from
see
that
that
cave.
the shadows that it casts
We need someone to investigate.
Then
are
we
kind of
will
reminiscent
immediately
of
send
the
out a
shape of the
legion to
windows
scour the
here.
cave and secure the town. Halfingar's people
That's
will
a really
always
nice
be
touch.
safe under my rule.
Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested
Yeah,
nothing
that's
in
a
the area.
Jarl
Dragon
Elisif
Bridge
I've
is
never
under
seen
Imperial
before.
control.
Hands to yourself.
This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Fleet.
I like the way
Perhaps, or
Falk looks.
Please,
tempered
don't
reaction
interrupt the court.
might be called for.
Oh,
Please,
yes, of
don't
Sybil
course.
Stentor looks a little generic.
Tell Captain Aldous
He
I
looks
sent you to
good.
assign a few
He looks
extra
unique.
soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. What
Please
about
don't
the cave?
interrupt the court.
I will have someone take care of
The
cave
Imperials
as
are
well,
good for
Marcus.
business, and business
Rest
is
easy.
good for Skyrim.
Yeah, I think those NPCs look good.
Return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
They seem to be consistent with their really lush cities, which I think fits the theme of what they're going for with this list.
Have you noticed that Riften's the only city we've been to where children don't run and play in the streets?
I'm trying to think what would be the issue causing the NPCs to all look the same. And I can only imagine, like, when I see that kind of, like, what do you call it? Like, potato face? Some people call it potato face. They kind of had a potato face, which usually means the NPC replacer is not taking the way it's supposed to into the system. And so it turns out, like, they all start to get the same looking potato face.
Feeling a bit like a catnap.
So I'm thinking that might have happened with whatever they're supposed to replace.
You might want to rethink that.
Yeah.
Missing out on some wonderful opportunities.
Take a look. Good day.
$18, $19, $20. Not bad.
All right, 21 minutes to go. On our way to Dawnstar. Let's take a look at it. Hopefully not too much of a trek. Overall, good Solitude though.
Bloody foreigners!
Nicely done.
Don't see a lot of strays.
I like jumping off this bridge. It's fun. I think the splash effects could use some work though. I mean, a lot of the way your player interacts with the water. I mean, you have good swimming effects here. But I think the splash effects are kind of something that could use some work. And then also there's no sound really here. You see there's no sound when I was swimming. Yeah, that needs a little bit of an audio overhaul there. And the water looks a little weird here as I'm swimming. It's a little too quiet. It looks like I'm kind of like just flying through the water. Which is a bit peculiar. And this channel usually has a strong current, but again, there's no current at all. I'm just gliding through it. Usually swimming is kind of like a tedious thing in this game, but right, this list here, I almost feel like that'd be the most efficient way to get the Dawnstar, is just swimming it. Because of how low resistance and how fast I'm going it is. Jumping animations are good. That's Dova jump, I believe. So Dova jump along with paraglider along with sky parkour is all definitely like nice modern traversal mods that you should have in a lot of these overhauls. Well, I prefer it in a lot of these overhauls. What you should and shouldn't have is it's all based on preference.
I don't think we're alone.
Did you hear that?
What's going on here? Oh, these guys are just helping out. That's cool. Alright, mace animations, okay? So let's take a look here. Swinging with us. Change the stance up. Let's see. Change the stance to hawk stance. Change it to bear stance. It's all the same. Alright, first person. Okay, change it again. Okay, let's change it again. Sorry about that, Remio. Okay, so it seems like first person so far from my testing has been almost I would say almost every time you change a stance in first person, it actually changes the stance. But in third person, it's a little bit of a hit or miss.
Time.
Come on, distract him. Nice. I'm glad I would. I'm happy I recruited them. The combat is, I would say, is very challenging in this list. Granted, I'm level 1 running around the whole entire map, right? So, take that into consideration. It's kind of interesting how I'm still level 1 though. If this game is using experience, I should be getting experience, a decent level of experience by hitting all these discovery areas up.
Shouldn't have come here.
Oh shit. Yeah, the swimming animations, the way your character interacts with the water needs to be re-looked at, I think. it's too quiet. And there's no resistance. And it's relatively easy. I'm sure, Ivy, if you're watching this, I'm not sure if that kind of like flew over you guys' head or if it was a design choice to not do anything with that. With, wade in water as part of your list. You seem like, you know what you're doing, so sometimes things are probably intentional, and I guess maybe that was intentional that you left it out.
It has to be. I've got to get out of this town.
Alright. Did we die recently? No, we're good.
Hold of yourself. They're just dreams. Please tell her, Erander.
Listen to your friend, Fruity. They are just dreams, my dear. I assure you that it is quite normal.
It's the same dream over and over again. You think that's normal?
In my interests.
It's evil, I tell you.
My father used to say that I was
she's
never
a
had
woman.
I was either a
Yeah,
full
textures look
house
good.
or an empty one.
But they must be an omen.
Give him a chance to speak. He's trying to help us.
Everyone, please. I'm doing what I can
It's getting kind of late in the day here.
to end these nightmares.
It's alright, we can wait though. I forgot. We can wait if we need to. We should see how the night looks. We've seen how the rain looks. We've seen kind of nice weather as well. The snow looks really good. I would say Dawnstar hasn't been heavily overhauled or anything like that. Alright, so we're gonna head to Winterhold next. Nice. Okay, he's all sloshed again. But is his stress level down? That's the question. I need to hit that wait timer up. Alright, he's still locking up. Alright, dude. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that mod. That's for sure.
I like the Luna moths that come out at night.
Alright, so nighttime. I think nighttime looks pretty bright. I don't know how it's coming off in the video, but nighttime is bright to my liking, actually. I can see what's going on. Granted, I can accept the Dark Knight as well in A and Bs because, you know, that adds realism. So I'll take it either way. The sky is pretty plain right now. Let's see if I wait a little bit later if the sky will come out with the constellations or anything. I guess not. too cloudy, I guess. It's alright. I like this area during sunrise as well. It looks really good. All right, there we could complete the mission. The statue of Azura, the mission that we did in the beginning, or that we picked up in the beginning. This Shrine of Azura mission.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Jeez, man, really? It's not this list's fault that I'm dying so easily. It's not meant to be played this way. It's meant to kind of be like in the right place to be trying to level up right now. Not level 1, kind of being exposed to all this. Oh my god, these guys just... Were they blending in with the terrain, or did they just like kind of spawn right there in front of me?
I'm moving in.
I didn't see them till the last second. Okay, so there's Winterhold there. We're approaching it. A little bit of a frame hitch there. I think we can get up this way.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
If I swapped that
In for
wire,
a drink.
larger soul gem.
Go in this god's-forsaken town.
And what? You think that will solve all your problems?
So the Winterhold overhaul is I think that's JK. If I'm not mistaken. It's pretty standard. This is a pretty standard overhaul. I see a lot of mod lists. I don't think there's anything, at least at this first glance from me looking around, that stands out that maybe this list did that's different than other lists that had the same overhaul. I'm still thinking though, like that was a crazy overhaul they had it. All right, actually the game just crashed, which is crashed. Unfortunate that it did though, because we were only 10 minutes from finishing, and it would have had a perfect 5 out of 5 score. But I hate to say it, but I'm glad that things happened to kind of make the score at the end a little bit more realistic. So, you know, it showed itself. It's happened many times before where we almost finished a review and then it crashed. And you know, crash always minuses 1 on the stability score. So when it crashed earlier, I restarted the game and I ended up back at Solitude where I saved last. So I just did a COC console command to get back to Winterhold. So this is where it crashed going into here. So we're going to check one more time if it's a repeatable crash. And if it is, unfortunately, it's going to mark off another point. So let's hope not, right? So let's go ahead and try.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's good news. It's not a repeatable crash, which means that this cell is not broken in any kind of way. It could have just been any kind of random issue with the engine. And again, almost every list we reviewed on the channel had a crash at one point or another. It's actually funny that in every single review, well, not every single review, but in most reviews, even if it's 2 to 3 hours long, Skyrim will crash at some point, which is kind of crazy. Especially when you start going heavily modded like a list like this. What I notice is Vanilla Plus lists. I said this before, Vanilla Plus lists seem to not crash as much, but once you start to go into, you know, heavily modded MCO or BFCO kind of huge overhauled lists, then they start to crash more often. I don't know what the common link is between all that. Oh dude, this troll is coming at me hard.
No turning back now. Did you hear that?
Alright, they're gonna distract him. I'm gonna get away. That's pretty cool. Look at that that volcano in the background. I've never noticed a volcano in the background before. Wonder where that is. I don't think you could probably go there, right? No, that's like Morrowind or something. How interesting. Oh, another one. I never scored any good armor on this run. I'm still using the one I got from the beginning. Usually I find some pretty cool stuff.
Hello?
Okay, we got about 5 minutes left. We're gonna make it. We're probably gonna make it to Windhelm. In fact, I will make sure that we make it to Windhelm and take a look at it before we finish off the video. Now let's see if we can make it past a gauntlet of necromancers up ahead, because they can be a nightmare sometimes. Just trying to run past them. And a list this hard, I can imagine it's a real threat. So let's go ahead and save real quick before we start running past them here. I'm sorry, I wish I had more weapons I got to try out, but I just didn't come across very many. We can try a little bit of dual wielding with a katana in the main hand. Yeah, it's all very similar, no matter what stance you choose for that.
time. Eat the remains of your crows.
I don't like how slow you feel when you're trying to do combat in Requiem lists. It's just... it's a very helpless feeling. Not my cup of tea. Graphically, I would say this list is pretty up there. I would say this list and Origins of Frost are pretty much on par with each other graphically. In fact, Origins of Frost had this bridge. It was all kind of like... something was wrong with this bridge, basically. This main chunk right here was missing. I think this whole concrete section. And this was the kind of overhaul that it was trying to do, because this little side bridge was here. But all of this stonework was gone. So at least it's good here on this list. All the assets kind of loaded in correctly. It looks like Windhelm's got a little bit of an overhaul. There's an extra wall there I haven't seen before. I'm sorry, I wish I can do more combat in this demonstration for you guys in here, but I'm severely underpowered in this world that you're just gonna watch me die and that's it. And we all know how the death mechanics work in this game. Hopefully I can lure this troll to some guards that can help me out here. Still chasing me? You know what? Let's try and see. Pure flame. No, 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 no. Out of magic already. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I thought I could cheese him, but I got no bow and arrow or anything to cheese him with. And my magicka runs out like instantly. Is someone taking shots at me with a bow too? I just saw an arrow fly past me. Alright, that's enough of that. We're at Windhelm now. Let's get our crew back with us. Alright, let's take a closer look at Windhelm. The timer just went off.
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food. You
Okay, so this is Windhelm.
We haven't taken a side because it's
Not heavily powdered snow on the ground, but there is a good amount of snow here. as I usually say, it's so hard for Skyrim to do snow well.
Lots of opportunity, but
Like it does textures in like forests or grasslands or whatever. It does it very well. There's a lot of mods out there that do it well, but once you get like snow, then it starts to show that there's not been very many advancements in mods that help snow look good in Skyrim. If there were, I would have seen it in one of the reviews so far, but almost every single review, the snow has kind of always been underwhelming. So it's not something wrong with this list. It's just modding advancements with snow textures are really bad still. I'm surprised this list is running off of experience, which is supposed to give you some experience while you're traveling, and yet I ran all this distance so far and I haven't even got to level 2 yet. So that's pretty harsh, I would say.
Falkreath will give us a straight answer.
He's a true North. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting
Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see
I don't think
where.
there are nearly
And what
enough
would
people
you
in this
have me
palace to fit at that table.
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my
Oh, look at that. Look at Galmar's armor. That's full dragon bone.
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
Yeah, good lighting in here. So if you guys saw my last video in the last video I posted, essentially Windhelm had in the inn here had a lot of textures missing. So let's take a look at that and then we'll wrap up the video there. I'll do a quick run through Windhelm real quick and then we'll do that.
Don't even bother with that. Leave it to the orcs.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Kind of a messy metal anyway.
Exactly.
Okay, the last time we came through here, Candlehearth Hall, on this entrance, and then we noticed a bunch of textures missing. I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be fine, but it's the same overhaul, I believe.
Take a seat and get the cold out.
That mammoth skull looks good. The scene right here, this looks really like high graphics. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, comparison outside when you're walking around in the snow
There's that Windhelm
in Windhelm, it doesn't look very good. It looks very dated. But like you come into this interior space and all of a sudden everything looks super, super high end and high res. So there is the case in point right there that just the snow textures just haven't caught up there. Because you could say it's not just an interior thing. You could say the same thing for how good Whiterun looked in this video, in this game, or in this list. Or Falkreath, how good Falkreath even looked.
Scrap might need a new soul.
Or even Markarth. But then you go to Windhelm, and almost on every list, you go to Windhelm, and it's severely underwhelming in how good it looks. Okay. So I think there's something that makes the Altmer taller than he normally is, that the game expects. Or at least this mod expects, because I can't go down these stairs with him. I gotta crouch.
I may have sliced my finger while trying to adjust Scrap's gears.
Yeah, even this, like, but like his head's not touching, but still.
What is it now?
I guess right here is what is taken into consideration. When I'm running, he's clearing it.
Don't you think all your tramping around there
So that's interesting. It seems like you're probably gonna encounter that quite often. It's probably not just this area, but there's gonna be several other doorways throughout the game. You're gonna encounter that if you have the same setup with an Altmer. I think maybe they're making Altmers true to size in this list, and you know, these mods are just not expecting that. So we're gonna wrap up the review here and kind of go over a few things. Let's go to a little more festive spot to wrap it up. Okay, so what do we think of the list here?
Skyrim's truest sons and daughters, the Stormcloaks.
You really could just chill in here and listen to music. Cool. So no, I'm good.
See you around, handsome.
So performance, I think performance, it felt good. I think FPS wise, it kind of ran similar to something's going on with my armor right there. I think it ran similar to other lists of the same graphical fidelity. However, this FPS wise, how it felt for some reason felt a little bit smoother. So I'll take that into account for the score. So performance is pretty decent. Combat, I think the intention is good with combat, but changing stances oftentimes did not result in a change of stance, in a change of animations in third person for the character. And I don't know if it's a Requiem thing or what, but the swings are just kind of slow, and it literally reminds me of Lorim. And so the only thing I can think of in common between the two, I'm sure there's many things, but the only thing I can think of is just Requiem off the top of my head. UI. So granted, Veldun UI is the UI that this list is using by default, but they gave up STB widgets and compass navigation overhaul for quick loot, i.e. and in my opinion, I'd rather have STB widgets. I'd rather have more stuff on the screen here, but I guess they went with a minimalist look here, so I can't really say that's a bad thing. It's just a preference thing.
I think that must be it. My wife hasn't been gone that long
Visuals are great. I would say they're up there. Not, I wouldn't say quite Lorim and Novus, but just a small notch below. Stability wise, the game is pretty stable. It ran with quick loot without the compass going missing, so I think because compass navigation overhaul is the common link there, and perhaps STB widgets too, as some people have made a case for, on making the compass go away. I still think that I still hold it to myself that I run apostasy ever since I got rid of quick loot. A couple hundred hours later, the compass has never gone missing since I got rid of quick loot, and I still get to enjoy STB widgets. So I don't know what's going on there. There's something there that needs to be looked at further, I suppose. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, or if you like these kind of videos, I would appreciate a like. A subscribe would be awesome as well, but only if you enjoy the content here and you want to see more. I try to pump out one of these videos once a week. I think I might try to get out 2 more in the coming 7 days from today, but usually it's a once a week kind of thing. And I will be doing another series eventually where I re-examine lists I've done before once they've gone through major overhauls. That will be called Skyrim Marathon Redux. So keep an eye out for that. When that happens, you'll see it on my channel as well. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Again, this is Skyrim Chronicles, and you can find the download link in the description.